Spring is just around the corner in these parts, and when the snow goes away, the problems reveal themselves in HOA properties across the state. And we're going to talk about irrigation, turf problems, landscaping issues, and how to best solve it with Chris Gonzalez of Gonzo Bros Landscape, right here on the HOA Leadership Network. Hi everybody, Mark Foster on the HOA Leadership Network. I'm joined today by Chris Gonzalez of Gonzo Bros Landscape of Prior Lake. Chris, welcome.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
We're in your new digs you recently moved into.
Yep, October of last year, 2025. Happy to be here.
All right, well, let's get right to it. I mentioned the snow melts, lots of walkthroughs occur. So HOA leaders often will go out in their property with a contractor or with a property manager, and they'll start inspecting the grounds. When you do these walkthroughs, what do you and your team find most commonly after the snow disappears?
Well, I think the obvious answer is, turf damage. We're looking for that initially. What did we do or not do during the snow season that's going to require an immediate repair? From there, we're going to see how the grass is looking. Oftentimes it's the same answer. It's a little early because we're getting out there early, evaluating the turf. We're not seeing much growth yet, but the real question is, looking at things middle of May once things have grown. How's the grass coming in? Are there problem areas that we should address? How are the shrubs starting to bud? How are the perennials coming in? We're evaluating the grounds, looking at landscaping beds. Are we depleted of material? Should we start updating that? But overall, just the conditions after the winter season has occurred.
Would you recommend that on a walkthrough that board leaders go with a contractor?
I think it can be helpful especially if you're a newer board, you're newer to this area. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's definitely beneficial because you're eliminating an extra conversation. But certainly if you have board members that are experienced with your turf, with your landscaping, and you've been on the board for a while, you could do it without us.
One of the rites of spring, I guess, is the spring cleanup. I love that time of year. Yeah. Contractors like you come into an HOA property. They get rid of a lot of the debris from the leftovers from Mother Nature. So what makes for a really good spring cleanup at an HOA property?
Proper conditions, definitely. If you're going too soon, you could muddy things up. Our equipment's heavy, and if you get to the ball too quickly, then it could be doing more harm than good.
Okay.
But ultimately, yeah, you're picking up whatever came down after the fall cleanup. So it's that final. It shouldn't be as aggressive. Shouldn't need to be unless you did your fall cleanup super early. And a lot of leaves came down afterwards, but mainly the leaves, any shrubs that like to be trimmed, any perennials or grasses that you told your contractor to hold off on in the fall, cleaning things up, laying pre-emergence down in the landscaping beds if you have your contractor managing the weed control. And then from there, you wait. You let things get that fertilizer down, you wait, and you let things grow.
What kind of timing are we talking about with a spring cleanup typically?
The soonest possible answer is always, hopefully where you want to be. But what does that mean? It depends year to year. Last couple of years with the mild winters we experienced, we were out there by April 15th. We're really happy if we're out there in April. At the latest, first week of May.
Okay, with the snow now disappearing, at least at the moment here in Minnesota, yeah. The turf is being revealed. We see sort of two things happen this time of year. One is any of the plow damage that has occurred, and plow damage is inevitable. It's something that can't be avoided. But secondly, I've noticed that because of, I think, the dry fall that we had, the turf in some cases is pretty brown. Yeah. So what do you recommend as the boards deal with this issue of turf repair, turf prep? What should we be worried about, and how do you deal with making sure that our turf is going to be growing well and nice and green when spring arrives?
Right. That's a great question. I guess, we do this every year, and I myself included with my own yard. It takes a little bit of time for your grass to change colors. It's in dormant right now. It's going to take some time to wake up. So certainly don't panic when the snow's melted and we're in April and you're not seeing green grass. That's normal. It's going to take, well into May, end of May, before you're like, wow, our grass looks great again. But that doesn't mean that there's not strategies that you can take with your contractor to at least speed the process up. things like dethatching that kind of get rid of all that thatch buildup from the mowing all last season or the season before if you've never dethatched. Standing the grass up, letting oxygen into the turf is good for those early stages of growth in the spring. And then on top of that, getting the leaves and any debris that has accumulated, just ultimately getting that grass stood up is really important. And then of course, laying down your fertilizer as soon as possible to start the digestive process with fertilizer.
All right, Chris, so irrigation, I often at these chapter meetings laugh a little bit about the irrigation system because I often rename it as the irritation system.
Yep.
A lot of HOA boards do have some problems with their HOA systems. In fact, we did a survey that showed a lot of our systems are older. The one that the HOA I'm in, our system's over 25 years old. With that comes some problems. What do you recommend a board with an older system? Should it be completely replaced or can it be repaired?
That's a great question, and it's a common question that I receive. I very seldomly recommend to completely tear out, and even if we do get to that point, you pretty much just leave it in the ground and re-pull a new system, but I very seldomly recommend you to completely replace your system. I mean, it's like anything. If I wanted to keep my 1950s car going, and I really could for as long. It's just going to take that maintenance, and preventative maintenance is also extremely important with anything. Everything breaks, so even if I'm dealing with a system that's 1 year old, I still might have some major repairs on that system. We're dealing with plastic parts that are underground in intense weather conditions. So, but the point of that I'm trying to make is it is rare where we're like, okay, you really need to just tear this out and replace. It has parts like anything that can be updated, can be brought up to speed with new technologies. You know, starting with the controller, look at the controller as your engine, and then you have valves that communicate to the controller, your heads. I mean, all of these things can be replaced, and the important thing is just regular checkups to make sure that the machine is running well and oiled well.
And of course, with new technology, you've talked a lot about this. You can monitor these systems on your phone through an app.
Absolutely. I mean, the technology out there nowadays is extraordinary.
Yep.
It can tell you while I'm laying in bed or just waking up in the morning that, hey, something's going wrong with this zone at this address. It can tell me I'm constantly playing a game with myself, or our irrigation team is, with ourselves from last year. We're trying to beat how much water usage we had last year, this year, and so forth. So you're playing this game of lowering the budget on water while making the property look as good as it can.
Let's talk a little bit about landscape beds. You know, where my HOA is located, we have a lot of rock beds, we have a lot of mulch beds. There's a lot of HOAs with those types of arrangements. What's a good time for an HOA board to consider either installation or repair, or even deinstallation in some cases of a landscape bed?
The first question is what purpose is it serving? Is it purely aesthetic, or is it an area that, you know, we just couldn't grow grass here, and instead of looking at dirt, we want to, you know, spruce it up? Is it a drainage bed? Are we running water through it? So ultimately, you know, what purpose is it serving? If it's aesthetically pleasing, then great, and everyone enjoys it, then I guess there's no reason to do anything. If it's unsuccessful, if the vegetation within the bed is not doing well, you know, you ask the question why. You know, what can we do? And what's a better alternative? So just purely what are your priorities, I guess, and what purpose is it serving? If it's not serving a purpose to you aesthetically, and it has no purpose for drainage, or it's not serving as an alternative, then another conversation can be had.
Sure. So boards should consult someone like you when they're looking at either a new design or maybe a repair.
At least to open up a thought process, if that's needed. Yes.
Right. Well, you've been in this new location now for a while. I was at your old location. This is a big step up. Talk about your company, Chris. How large is it? What is your service area?
This is a family-owned operation. We are very close with one another within our staff. You come around us, you meet us, and you feel that, and the passion is there. We've been in business for 11 years. In April would mark the beginning of our 12th season. We started out of our mom's garage, my brother and I. Slowly went from the small car garage to the whole car. She was kicked out onto the driveway. Then she was kicked out onto the street, and she said, "That's enough. I need to at least park in the driveway." So But knocking on neighbors' doors, and what came from that is it required a serious amount of detail to retain clients and to make a name for ourselves, and we've carried that detail-oriented service throughout the evolution of the company, and now we operate 18 vehicles with 50 to 80 employees at any given time out of the year, and it's all because of our detail customer-oriented operation, and I think that we're just extremely focused on the customer experience.
Great. Well, and you do not only mowing and trimming and all those great things during the spring, you do a lot of snow removal.
Yeah, I mean, anything
Obviously.
that we got the plow right here. We've had a couple of weird winters even now this year with the weather we're experiencing. But yeah, full grounds maintenance, including snow removal, any retaining walls, hardscaping, outdoor living spaces, landscaping, drainage systems. You name it, we do it.
Yeah.
So,
great. Yeah. Well, you're in good hands with Chris Gonzalez of Gonzo Bros Landscape. Chris, thanks for being here today.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
And if you're an HOA leader and need more advice and research findings and collaboration opportunities with other HOA leaders, make sure you join the HOA Leadership Network. It's free. Just go to our website at www.hoalnet.com. I'm Mark Foster, and this is the HOA Leadership Network.